wanted to say it was a board game miracle.
We're each going to have 2 minutes to talk about the weirdest places we played games, and points will be awarded based on how weird they actually are and whether we entertain our judge behind the scenes. So let's
the
start.
Weirdest place or the spookiest place?
Spookiest. Well, or just weird. We're just going.
Okay.
Sorry, my segment. Go ahead, Daniel. You get to start us off here.
All right. Well, the craziest place I played was in a cemetery. I was playing Dead Man's Cabal, and we drew a pentagon. No, I kid. So I had to think about this. I was a security officer. I know, shocking. I have always had this physique, so that's even more shocking. And in college, and we would go into the different buildings at night, and we play games wherever we wanted to. So we would play it in the auditorium where the theater was at. We did it on the catwalk. We did it in the gymnasium where they played football. We did all those places. It was a lot of fun, a lot of just kind of cool sneaking around because I had the keys to everything. And then the other place I was thinking of was in high school. Chris, you'll appreciate this one. Me and my friends were actually going to one of the wrestling events in Kansas City, and we had a 2-hour drive from Junction City to Kansas City. And so what are we going to do for 2 hours? We need to play a board game. So my friend's mom was driving. We removed the seats in the back of his van, and we just laid out our Munchkin game. And for 2 hours on the highway, we played Munchkin, completely safe and secured. And if there was an accident, I'm sure we all would have been dead. But you know what? It was
a relief.
Memory.
Yeah, getting a game of Munchkin in is definitely worth risking your life.
It was. Guys, Munchkin was my game. It was my jam. Me and my friends, we played Munchkin forever. I had every set for up to like 5 or 10 or 15 years. I don't remember. They're up until Axe Cop. If you're a Munchkin aficionado, you might recognize that that's when they started to do IPs. I was out at that point, but loved me some Munchkin. But it hasn't aged well with me. Gotcha. All right. Well, that's for me. So, John, you want to share your story?
Well, it's funny. I really didn't come up with what I was going to talk about till just now. Okay, because when Andy proposed this, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like Andy wants to do a whole segment on something because he has one story to tell. But I was going to use when my son and I played in the park when we were camping. But I talked about that on the show already. That's lame. I already talked about that. But then I remembered I did play on a train one time in the middle of the night when I was heading out to Arizona with some family, and a lot of the family had a sleeper car. I didn't have a sleeper car, and my nephew, who's only like 5 years younger than me, didn't have a sleeper car, and we were in a Stratomatic league together. Stratomatic baseball. If you're not familiar with this game, it's an amazing baseball simulator that uses cards and dice. And we would play 100. We'd draft our own teams, play 162 games against each other. You keep score on an actual scorebook, baseball scorebook. So you keep score just like you keep score of baseball. You keep stats, all that stuff. It's a blast. We're like, well, we're not going to be able to sleep because where are you going to sleep on a train? We'll bring our strat stuff. We'll strat all night long. No problem. So we sit down there. We go in the lounge car. Nobody else is in there. It's the middle of the night. Open up our scorebooks. Did you bring a pen? No. Did you bring a pen? No. You've got to be kidding me. Neither one of us brought a pen. You need pens to play this game. So we're sitting there all bummed. And the conductor, of all people, comes walking through the cabin. This dude, it looked like something from Nerd Express. Pocket protector, had to be 15 pens in it. And we're like, sir, could any chance you would have a pen that we could use? And his response was, sadly, no. And just walked on. I'm like, you've got to be kidding.
What? That is awesome.
We were like speechless. But I think I just got desperate. I'm looking, and I finally found like an old Bic with the cap missing in the windowsill, and we shared that the rest of the night. So that's how we played Strat all night long. So we still did it, but it was a pain.
I really wanted to say it was a board game miracle. But yes, it was a different direction.
This conductor is my hero.
Oh my god,
like the Grognard King.
I can't give you Steve or Philip or Susie. I can't give these pens up.
These are my favorites.
Unbelievable.
They're my children.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. All right, so So mine is I didn't play in this one, but I still need to bring it up because I think it also proves that I haven't knocked any stores over for so it's not an addiction, and also because I know when to know where there's boundaries of when I should play a game and when I shouldn't. Recently, a few months ago, my son had a birthday, and so I worked very hard at putting the birthday party together, and had I was at a park. I bought some soccer goals, worked really hard to try to make it a fun event that everyone could be participating in and enjoying. And I'm working on making the burgers and doing all the things. And I look over, and there's some people at a table, and there's some cards out. And these aren't like playing cards, like, whatever. No, this is a full board game, cards, all the kind of thing, full thing going on. And who is orchestrating that? The man who's turned away in shame at this moment. Exactly. Daniel. Daniel has a true addiction. He couldn't even wait till the kid's birthday party was over that I worked very hard on, trying to make entertaining to everyone. And Daniel was just like, nah, this place is lame. You guys want to play some board games?
We're playing Welcome to the Dungeon. It's a great outdoor game.
Which
The guy
by
who
the way,
says you should never play outdoors.
while we're taking a second to bash on Daniel, you will recall from one of our previous episodes that Daniel was like, I don't want to play games outdoors. I want to be in the moment.
Yep. What a
Well,
liar.
I have a goal this year, guys. I got to play all my games.
That's true.
And if I'm gathered with friends, I got to take advantage of it.
If he's going to lie about this, what else is he going to lie about? I bet he's lying about how he doesn't like Dead Man's Cabal. I bet he's in a weird satanic cult.
And I
That's
actually
all
am
true.
a huge DC fan.
Oh.
All right, what you got, Dan or Andy?
Oh, well, hold on. You've
What's
got a little more
to
time.
respond this whole segment?
Now your time's up. Okay. So unlike you guys, I have like a whole list of stories, not just one or two.
I
So
would
I'm gonna
hope.
get through these as fast as I can, lightning style, and I can't talk with this beard. It's coming off. I'm sorry. I broke character. Okay, here we go. Goblet. I played the game Goblet. You played the game Goblet? Fun little game. Played it with my wife at the hospital in the maternity ward while she spent the day in child labor with our firstborn, trying to have an all-natural birth. And guess what? She did not like playing the game, but I kept trying to play the game with her. And that's not a thing to do when someone is laboring in significant pain for 8 hours with no medications. Do not try and play
take your
board games with someone in
turn.
that situation.
Is that Ranger goblets, you mean?
Okay, we now have the new bar for addiction.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the new bar.
The new bar.
Another one that was interesting. I played, this was back when Black Friday, when you actually had to camp out for stuff still. We were camping out at a Walmart overnight to get a deal on a big screen TV. We played Carcassonne on the floor of a Walmart and got some really weird looks. That was a fun one. That was from like 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. or something. Let's see. I've also played on an airplane. I pulled down the little tray table, and we played a game of Biblios cards on this little tray table, which was really awkward, by the way. And no, do not make any jokes about joining the Board Game Mile High Club, please.
Whatever. That's not a joke. That's a real
Not
thing.
a joke at all.
It should be a
Yeah,
new
for
thing. That's
real.
right. We'll maybe that will be a new thing that people can accomplish.
You joined it.
I also have played on an anniversary trip with my wife at a romantically themed hotel. Nothing says I love you like trying to play Dominion on a big fluffy bed.
Is
which
that
we
the one
somehow
you took
did.
pictures of and posted it on our Facebook group?
I don't think there were pictures, sorry.
Okay.
I've also played at a friend's fancy wedding rehearsal dinner. I've played at a voiceover awards show. There was time, and I was in a tux, and I had a little game with me. And finally, maybe the most awkward thing I've done is we host international students at our house, and we've had people over from all these different countries, and we all play Secret Hitler and accuse each other of being fascists. And that is fun, surprisingly. Really, really fun. Hopefully not too offensive.
Andy,
there you have it.
I think you hit every single story that was listed on that board game group when we posted this to the national group.
Did I really?
Yeah, there were so many on there, and I think you
That's
you
true.
nailed like half of them.
I think so.
Well, sorry to steal the
Playing in
thunder.
line, playing in labor, playing in.
That's where you got the stories.
Yeah, I just made it all up.
No, but I
Wait,
said,
for
we did
real?
post this in a.
Is that
No, I
seems
didn't make it
real
all
for
up.
you.
Not for real. Those are real things that happened.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Knowing you, I assumed all those were true. Like
They are
only
true.
you would those
They
were
are true.
for.
That's
But
great.
I that's why I thought they were true.
And
Yeah.
most of
No,
those
they're
seem
all-
horrible enough to actually be Andy.
Yeah.
It's just
All
see,
right.
people are like-minded like me. So.
It's true. Well, and let's see how like-minded they are of you, because
Yes.
as I said, John posted this in a national board game group, but we also posted it in our local group, and we got some very interesting responses.
Mhm.
So this is from the national group. The first four are all from the national groups, but we have Sherry Gap. She played this while on a train, just like John did.
There you go.
Yeah.
I want to play a game of 18xx on a train someday. Like that's a real thing. That's not a
that'd be
joke.
cool.
Like
Ooh.
I know it's a long trek, but there's got to be some sort of awesome like trek across Europe or even across the
Oh,
US. But
Yeah.
a
train
full
rides
game of
aren't short.
18xx across it, that sounds awesome.
Nice.
I'm going to
Take
talk
next
about the one that Richard Krantz did. He played in the basement of a funeral home, complete with a casket in the room. And
Wow.
when I read this, I had flashbacks to a previous job I had years and years ago, where I would people, if you go into businesses, sometimes they have carpets and rugs and stuff. Well, a lot of times they rent those from a company, so they don't have to clean them, and people have to come in and change those out. I had several funeral homes on my route, and one of them I had to go downstairs into the mortuary to replace these rugs. And to do that, normally these kind of things don't freak me out, but to do this, you have to get on this elevator that if you were in a horror movie where somebody died on an elevator, it would look like this. It's one of those where you open up the big gate, you got to do this and shut it, and then you push this button to hold it. You got to get it just right on the. And every time I come out, there's dead bodies on my rug, and it's like, oh my gosh, I got to move these around. And I couldn't imagine playing a game in the basement of a funeral home. Sorry,
Wow.
that would wig me out. So
I'm pretty sure they were playing Dead
kudos
Man's
to
Cabal,
you.
though, right? They had.
They
to.
probably were, and then then they'd get more players.
Well,
Right.
according to and I can't pronounce the name maybe correctly here. Rika, is it Christy Rika?
Sure. Let's go with it.
Storica.
That's not
sounds
right.
made up.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't read I can't read it. We'll do it live. Anyway, they said that they played just today at the side of a pool.
There you
I
go.
actually have played by a pool too. That didn't make my list, but I have. I remember teaching the game Survive Escape from Atlantis to some kids while we were sitting by a pool, which was quite
Sure you did.
apropos.
Yeah, played a game that.
sure
close to
this
a
wasn't
pool,
during
that's
a
the most
water birth?
terrifying thing.
Oh.
All right, Chris, you got the next one.
Sure. So we got Samuel Griffin. He's played on the ledge of a cliff at the top of a climbing wall.
That's
Like-
insane.
Wow.
That's crazy. Like,
I
I mean,
bet
that's,
he played-
I thought that was going to initially go when I first read it. I was like, oh, he's going to be on top of like a mountain. He's good climbing, but like a climbing wall, like most of the times those go pretty close to like the ceiling of the building you're at. So
Yeah.
like the fact
No,
that
no,
he
no.
had the dedication to actually get up there and play it, that's pretty
So,
impressive.
Chris, you can't see this, but there's going to be a video playing right before or after this. They are
Oh.
literally on a ledge of a cliff. It was
Like an actual cliff.
climbing, but they
Oh,
were
okay. So it
really-
was a cliff. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. That makes more sense.
real.
I mean, while still insane, at least that makes more sense.
All
I
right.
bet they were playing Trailblazers.
Yeah. So then next we have Nathaniel Curran. As he says, we've only played a board game in one place that wasn't our house or my friend's house, and that was Carcassonne in Carcassonne.
There you
That's
go.
awesome.
All
I
right.
think he listened to our first episode where wasn't it this
Oh,
guy
no.
down here said something about Puerto Rico.
Yes.
No. I thought you were going to talk about the game Endeavor, which you pronounced in Denver, and we were going to talk about playing Endeavor in Denver.
We have to play Endeavor in Denver someday.
That would be good.
We need to start like a BGG page list of like people, like a checkoff of playing like the different board games in the place that they are.
There
So
you
like
go.
check off Carcassonne and Carcassonne, Puerto Rico, yada yada yada.
Well, is there
think
any
that'd be
Kansas
pretty
game?
cool.
I think there is. It's a train game. You need to get it, Chris.
Kansas-opolis.
Well, Great Western Trail. Great Western Trail.
Gardneropoly and Gardner.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There's Topeka and Wichita and Kansas City, I think, all in there. So there you go.
All right. Well, let's get these other ones out of the way. Let's get those quick, Gary.
Real quick, David Same played in an abandoned Kmart building, which I believe was Meeple-a-thon last week.
Ding, ding, ding. And we got Ruby Munin. I once played Exploding Kittens with strangers while waiting in a line to vote.
While microwaving kittens.
Michael Mason says, I played on the floor in a basement that was infested with house centipedes. It certainly added extra attention to the game.
And then we have a local hero, Andre Noth. He played in a bunker in Kandahar, Afghanistan.
Thank you for your
Wow.
service.
Yes,
For
thank you.
real.
And Chris, what's the last one?
I think that's it.
Oh,
No, there's one more.
Oh, okay. And then,
Oh.
yes, this one's from a local friend, what I would consider a friend, but maybe not anymore, as they joined Daniel in the infamous game where they played during my son's birthday party. She said she had a child's birthday party at the park, but that was actually, in fact, the same event. So,
Who is?
Laura, we are
Okay.
on shaky waters, you and I.
Oh, man.
I was going to say you didn't announce the said friend, but then you did. So
Yes.
there you go.
all right. Well, guys, let us know what are some of the weirdest places you have ever gamed, and of course, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.
Like what you've seen, you'd like to see the entire episode, click on the link in the comments below.